Well, it is quite interesting, my gorgeous Cancerinis, the way April is going to actually turn out for you. And you know why? Because it's going to come with an element of surprise in such a sense that the whole month it's actually going to turn out completely different to what you would possibly imagine. And this is when the most powerful essence is going to be waiting for you, and it's going to happen in the form of the actual good news that you're going to have on the 21st of April 2020. The 21st of April 2020 is going to be a remarkable moment in time for you, because it's a lot going to be leading to this particular moment. A lot is going to be leading to this particular point. Certain things along the months, throughout the months have unfolded in like a different way indeed, but that in itself was quite important when it comes to your progress and this particular point that you're actually going to have on the 21st of April 2020. It's going to bring you a really good news, but it's going to mean to you so much. Personally, you are reaching a very important stage as well when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to your feelings, when it comes to realization, when it comes to the actual news that you are going to have. But most certainly it's to do with your advancement, but in particular when it comes to the actual gain. So now this is going to become a rather remarkable moment in time when it comes to your own personal advancement, because the way things unfolded and developed throughout the months prior this particular point were leading you towards this direction. This is most certainly going to be the moment in time which is going to surprise you, but it's also going to provide you with the new direction, with the path that you wouldn't normally have. It is going to be very interesting indeed, but also the realization about a certain desire. It's going to be so important, and it's going to be so significant, and it's going to go above everything else, because as of this moment in time, this is going to become your driving force. This is going to become your main point, which is going to at the same time rejuvenate you and make you feel really, really optimistic. So you will know that the 21st of April 2020, it's not going to become rather important stage, but it's most certainly going to bring you the whole new direction. And this direction is going to be absolutely everything, because it's so much so to do with the abilities, with a certain ability that you should be doing, and the certain abilities that you should be paying attention to, and the certain abilities of yours that you need to take on the whole next level, on the whole next stage. In fact, the 21st of April 2020 is going to be directly responsible for you taking your life on a whole new level, on the whole new stage, on the whole new step. This is going to be a very important moment in time, and then at the same time it is going to be so significant because it's going to become your turning point as well. Very, very important, because the certain answer, which created so much confusion prior to this point, it's also going to be answered. You're going to find yourself in a rather interesting stage when you're going to find yourself like realizing that negative, it's actually rather positive. Some kind of negativity that was going on around that created so much confusion, and it prevented you also from kind of like a focusing towards the certain stages when it comes to your future planning. This was all affected big time. But the most interesting thing here to you, my gorgeous Cancerinis, is that there is something absolutely remarkable going to be waiting for you when it comes to your unfoldment. That is going to happen, and it's going to take step, and it's going to take stage that it wouldn't normally happen. So that's why this is going to be a remarkable moment in time when it comes to you, my gorgeous Cancerinis. Just remember what I said at the beginning. You see, this month it's going to turn out to be completely different to what you would imagine, and this is where the magic is going to be, because I'm talking about positive, I'm not talking about negative. It is very important for you to remember throughout this month, my gorgeous Cancerinis, to keep your eyes open and to be very open-minded, and do not bring yourself down, because you're also going to have five interesting points which are going to be quite essential for you to go throughout the month. These points, 5 different points, which are going to be relevant for you to understand that you will be tested and you will be challenged in such a way where you will gonna feel like you can't do this, you can't do that. It's just basically going to be the trick of the mind that is going to be quite significant at this moment in time, and it's just going to kind of make you prevent you from moving on without realizing, without kind of having that strong effect on you, when you just flow and flow and flow. And 5 tests that you are going to have, 5 tests that are going to be around you, that are going to manifest and they're going to be essential parts of your spiritual journey. All you have to do is to remember, whatever you are doing, just keep going. Do not think negative, and do not bring yourself down, because these 5 points, once you go over something absolutely remarkable, it's going to take a stage in May, because May, it's going to be direct continuation of everything that is actually happening in April, but it's all going to go on the whole new level again, on the next stage, on the next step. Very important. Every time when you're distracted by feeling like, a little bit negative about the outcome influences that are affecting your world, just remember, my gorgeous Cancerinis, remember to stay committed to the task at hand. Whatever you're doing, you're just going for it. You will go through it. And I said this month is actually going to surprise you, because it's going to turn out to be much more positive and quite good and very relevant and very important when it comes to your own personal development. Because if this month didn't unfold the way it's going to unfold, you wouldn't find out this important direction that is going to be provided to you. And it's to do with you, what you should be doing and what you should be taking on the next stage of your life. Okay? My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Cancerini, Cancer, and it's for April 2020. So it's for you, my gorgeous Cancerini, and it's for April 2020. And guess what? Your number is this month, it's repeated sequences, of course, which means that things are going to get together. You are going to get a moment, you are going to get the absolutely perfect vibration in order to feel things and sense things from a slightly different angle, to a rather unusual events that are going to be happening around you throughout this month. But this is important because you're going to find yourself on another side of this journey. You're going to find yourself on another side of this dimension, which is on another hand going to require from you to pay attention to things that you wouldn't normally pay attention to. And this is what is going to be very interesting indeed, because it's going to help you to come to conclusion with an ongoing problem that was causing lots of stress, but it's also on another hand going to bring you harmony, which is going to inspire you like there is no tomorrow. And your number this month, my gorgeous Cancerinis, when it comes to numerology, is 333. This number is relevant pretty much so when it comes to the actual whole month of April, which means that you're reaching an important stage, which means that you're reaching an important moment. And in particular, if you are noticing the sequences of these numbers repeating, 333, or any kind of relevance to these numbers, even 33 or 3331, 3332, 3333, any relevance to these particular numbers, any sequence that you see repeating at the same time, you will know as well that there is some kind of form of justice going to happen to you. There's some kind of form of justice going to come to you. This is connected to your karma, and there are 3 different things that are going to take place. 3 different things are going to come to you, and they are most certainly going to kind of let you know that they're happening, or you're going to become aware of it because of these numbers that are going to be repeating. You don't have to necessarily see these numbers in order to realize, that there are 3 things that are going to take place that are so karmically important, because it's to do with a long process, and it's to do with your journey, and it's to do with an advancement. You don't need to see 333 necessarily repeating the sequence of these numbers in order for this to happen. There are going to be 3 important stages that are going to return into your life as a form of an unfinished business, but most certainly is to do with the justice and next stages that are going to become unfolded for you at the same time. But if you do see these numbers repeating 333 at the same time, or any sequences similar to that, even if it's 33 at the same time, you just need to kind of know that there is an opportunity that is going to come to you. You're reaching an important moment of your own spirituality when it comes to psychic mode. So you will know that your mind is going to be able to to extend that much further. So your own reflection is going to allow you to actually expand your understanding into such a way where you're going to end up realizing things that you wouldn't normally realize. This is very, very important indeed. And also, if you see the numbers repeating 33, just make sure that you see right around you what is like calling your attention, what is like kind of like a really attractive around you, because that is symbolically going to be very important, and it's also at the same time going to answer your question. And another thing, when you see the numbers repeating sequences, just make sure that you understand that you need to make a connection almost immediately indeed within yourself, and try to realize where were you at when it comes to your thinking at that very moment in time. It's important because a lot is going to be pinpointed to you, what you would pay attention to, which would normally take you slightly longer in order to understand. Number 333, my gorgeous Cancerini, means that you're actually having an important moment when it comes to your own personal justice. This is an important time of an adjustment, an important time of the actual justice, but in particular something, you know, that you have been waiting and you have been focusing on, and something that affected you at some moment in time. So the justice is coming, and you're going to feel very strong because this will be very relevant for you indeed. It's at the same time going to make your vibration very powerful because it's going to bring you the necessary balance, which is going to help you to boost your radiance indeed. On another hand, it's going to bring you the harmony that you wouldn't have. That in itself, it's very important because you're also going to get a reward. Reward, it's coming, my gorgeous Cancerini. Reward, it's coming for the time that was bothering you and for the time that was preventing you to kind of like reach the highest level of your own excitement and happiness, because something was constantly at the back of your mind, but in particular within the last 8 months, something is about to shift. And this is why I say that April is really important, because it's going to motivate you, because most certainly it's going to be, the outcome will be much more different than you could possibly imagine. And this is why I think that is really important. At the same time, you know, you're going to feel very important self-satisfaction with your own direction, and that in itself is going to also provide you with a perspective, very important perspective, which is going to come at the right moment in time, and that is going to help you to make a quite significant decision to actually move on. On another hand, 333 also means that you are reaching an important stage where you are going to have a turning point, which is completely going to surprise you. One of the days throughout April, you're going to find yourself somewhere where you didn't think that you are going to be. It's going to be different energy, it's going to be different dimension, you're going to be surrounded by the different people, and that in itself is also going to create a certain effect. But on another hand, it's very important to say that this is going to be the time when you're actually going to have an absolutely remarkable time, because something is going to be required from you, and you're going to respond in a certain way. You will surprise yourself the way you're going to respond, but this is going to be absolutely everything, because this response is going to be different, but it's most certainly going to mark an important stage when it comes to your destiny indeed. And that is also going to mark an absolutely ridiculously important point when it comes to the actual culmination, conclusion, and even more importantly, approaching. You know, it's all about the approaching the end of the problem, you know, and this is so important, because it is going to be followed with another unexpected event, which is going to require from you to make a decision, make an important, mature decision. And I like this because this is going to make you feel so good about yourself. An important decision that you're going to make at around the end of the month. It's going to make you feel so good about yourself, and it's going to bring you courage and optimism. On one hand, you know, it's going to help you to kind of realize who you should be wary of. You know, there will be the certain person that is going to create a little bit of disappointment as well when it comes to you. But then again, on another hand, this is going to be very good because it's going to help you to move on from the situation that no longer serves you anymore, and it's surrounded by the toxicity. It's very good to move yourself away from any kind of toxic people or any kind of toxicity that could be like kind of going on you, basically. On another hand, what else number 333 means when it comes to the actual whole month of April, it's brilliant. It's bringing you a surprise when you least expect it, but also on another hand, it's about the power and accomplishment movement that is going to give you confidence, it's going to boost your energy levels, and that on another hand is going to be so brilliant because also the certain influence that you are going to have, it's going to be at the back of your mind, and it is going to be pushing you towards the certain authority, and most certainly that is going to give you such an important push, which is on another hand going to become an important moment in time when it comes to the actual unfoldment of the things that you have been so patient about, and you have been most certainly waiting for this significant point. It is to do with your spirituality, it's to do with your personal balance, which is reaching on another hand an important stage. An absolutely remarkable idea. It's going to actually take place this month. This idea is going to bring you to a whole new perspective, and the vision that is going to be keep on driving you when you need it the most. Okay, when it comes to the actual health, my gorgeous Cancerinis, it is very important for you to make sure that you are also taking organic acerola cherry powder, 1 glass of water in the morning, mix it up with a little bit of water, drink it, and 1 glass of water before you go to sleep at night as well. And this organic acerola cherry powder, it's the organic powder that is going to provide you with the necessary amount of vitamin C, which is absolutely powerful. It's very essential and it's very significant when it comes to boosting your immune system, which I think that is going to be super relevant when it comes to you, in particular when it comes to cold flu, like cold flu symptoms like a sore throat, a headache. Vitamin C is absolutely remarkable. On another hand, vitamin D, I told you before, vitamin D, it's both good for your bones and it's also good to boost your immune system. For you, you would need calcium, magnesium for the bones and skeleton in general, and a bit of a zinc. Zinc is going to also boost your immune system. It's going to help you with your gum health. Again, your gums are going to be sensitive, but in combination with vitamin C, it's absolutely wonderful to boost your immune system and to protect your gums as well. And one more thing, sorry, I know it's a lot, but it's organic echinacea. Organic echinacea, it's super powerful herb, and it's actually been used for many years, for hundreds of years. I use it myself, and it's super powerful when it comes to boosting your immune system by increasing the white cells count in the body. I highly suggest to get echinacea, which is a tincture, which is in a liquid, so it gets into the bloodstream much quicker, so therefore it's much more effective in my opinion. But you could get capsules or tablets, it's up to you, but I highly recommend echinacea, and it's very in a tincture form. And echinacea you take for 6 weeks, then you take 2 weeks breaks, then you take 6 weeks again, 2 weeks break, then 6 weeks again, and then slightly longer break, and then carry on doing the same process later on. Echinacea you don't take like all the time because your body will get used to it, and if that happens then it's not as effective, but it's just something that I highly recommend, and it's absolutely superb to actually boost your immune system. Echinacea. If you're on any other medications, if you are pregnant or if you are breastfeeding, then you just need to check with your doctor, or you just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. One more thing, try to avoid like a toothpaste with a fluoride as much as you can, and try to avoid like a mouthwash with the fluoride as much as you can, okay? And try to use a natural toothpaste, organic, maybe tea tree and aloe vera. It's wonderful for mouth sensitive gums, and the mouthwash, aloe vera and tea tree. This is a wonderful combination, but without fluoride, okay? So this is quite important for you to actually take, so it can help you out quite a lot throughout the April, okay? So now, my gorgeous Cancerini, I'm going to start with the first date that is going to be quite significant for you. My baby is going to be the 3rd of April. Now, the 3rd of April, you know, you're going to feel like a little bit dishonesty when it comes to like some kind of a trickery, when it comes to some kind of obscurity, when it comes to some kind of a little deception, you know. This is nothing huge, this is nothing horrible, this is nothing nasty, but it's just about a psychic feeling that you're going to have, that it's not going to lead you astray, that it's not going to be wrong. This is important because at the same time, it's going to help you to move away from the certain situation, but then at the same time, you're going to feel this beautiful creativity towards the way out of that situation. And that in itself is going to provide you with a promise when it comes to like things that you have been doing and focusing on, because you will realize that it's also at the same time it's going to create and start this wonderful energy shift as well. You will know that there is something very important to learn. 3rd of April, just watch for it. 3rd of April and the 4th of April. These are going to be very important when it comes to your personal experience, but in particular, which is going to guide you towards the direction of some kind of reflection, but in particular when it comes to your own learning. Look what you feel attracted to, look what you feel attached to, look what's inviting you and calling you. There are going to be all sorts of ways, the way this new perspective is going to start sliding into your sign. On another hand, it's just so important to say that this 3rd of April is going to be directly responsible for the actual progress that you are going to have. This is very important as well, indeed, when it comes to the influence from the right person. Influence from the right person and motivation from someone is just going to confirm something to you. But this is very deep and it's very important, and most certainly it's coming from the right person at the right moment in time. It's going to help you out, you know. It's going to help you out because it is just going to make you realize how powerful you are, how beautiful you are, how strong you are, how responsible for you are. But it's also going to give you some kind of relevance when it comes to the actual timing. This is a lot to do with you making an important decision and a new direction, you know, when it comes to your personal security. So this is very important when it comes to you making an important decision when it comes to your own personal security. But it's in particular to do with the prosperity, well-being, and rather nice luxury and the actual comfort. But it's to do with the security that you really needed to feel, to know that you are going towards to. Okay, it's safety. Okay, now I highly recommend you to get something like a Moldavite. Absolutely super important. Moldavite, it's very powerful, and you are going to spiritually grow throughout this month. You are going to be making conversations, more conversation that you would have thought that you will be making, and there is going to be things that are going to be happening that are going to surprise you, and they're going to require from you to act in a certain way. But also you will be in touch with people, you will be doing things, you know, like for example, you'll be talking, and there are going to be some kind of conversations that are going to be quite important throughout April and May. And sometimes we can stumble upon ourselves by actually not acting in a certain way if people make us feel nervous and things like that. So this is a wonderful little crystal when it comes to the conversation, but it's brilliant when it comes to planning, it's brilliant when it comes to prosperity, it's brilliant when it comes to you doing things, because it helps you to expand yourself by expanding your spiritual awareness, and also spiritually you will be going in the right direction. It also, on another hand, is one of the most powerful crystals that will protect you, and it's going to help you to ground yourself as well. Moldavite comes with a sterling silver setting and a sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Cancerini, you're also supporting my channel as well. The second important date is going to be the 19th of April, 1-9. The 19th of April is going to bring you a wonderful moment in time when you're going to realize, you know, the ever-changing cycle, but it's going to be really good. You're going to know the life is changing, but it's good, because it's at the same time going to provide you with an activity and determination. This day is going to bring you an absolutely mind-blowing determination, but it's so much to do with your own experience. It's so much to do with what you want to do. It's so much to do with your expansion with the next stage. It's to do with, like, you know, what you are like really experienced about, but it's also to do with a certain authority. It's a very important moment in time when it comes to the ideas. This is going to be super powerful days when it comes to the ideas in general. They're all going to come from somewhere else. It's going to be like, ooh la la, where is this coming from? But it's brilliant, baby. Just write it down. It's going to be crucial for you to remember this, because it's going to help you to expand yourself. One particular idea is going to be very powerful, because it's at the same time going to become like the rebirth for you, because it's going to make you realize something in such a sense, when it's going to be like, ooh la la, wake up call. And that is also going to be the time of invocation, where you're going to have a clear focus, and you're going to reach the peak of radiance when it comes to your own personal unfoldment and the activation, which is going to really re-energize you in so many different ways. You know, you're also going to have some kind of doubt or suspicion, like kind of confirmed as well, when it comes to some kind of a gossip, you see. On another hand, this is going to bring out in you the need to change things a little bit. So there's some kind of like something that you have been like kind of like moving away from, you in some kind of self-denial, but it does require from you to make a necessary changes, necessary adjustment in your life. It's to do with the transformation and clearing away the old to make a way for the new, because this is an important moment in time when it comes to your personal progress. And it's that idea that I already said is just going to start changing things for you. Indeed, it is the time of transformation that is going to take place. Very personal day for you. The 19th and the 20th of April are also going to be very good if you can like do the little spiritual cleansing, like maybe take like a little dry sage, and maybe like just to basically smudge your home. Very good moment in time to do that, because you know you're gonna really smudge your home, you're gonna cleanse your home, and you're gonna it's going to help you to get rid of all sorts of negative energies or negative activities and things like that, residues, energies that could have been left behind. But also it's going to help you to cleanse yourself. Oh, I forgot to put a little light on, look. Hello. Also it's going to help you to cleanse yourself spiritually. This is very important, because you know, if you feel a little bit sick after that 2 or 3 days, then you will know that you had a really big amount of negative energies accumulated within you, and that can also happen when we worry quite a lot. So it is just basically going to be quite good throughout this month to at least once, you know, close all the windows, my babies, burn this, put a little saucer underneath because it's quite messy. Go into every single room in the house and say the little prayer, say the little mantra, say a little affirmation if you want. If you don't feel like it, then don't do it. It's not your call, you know. But if you feel like to say affirmation and all, just go for it. But most certainly, go into every single room, just smudge it, make sure it's full of smoke, and that is going to just make you feel the certain relevance that you wouldn't feel normally, because lots of negative energy is going to be shifted. But also, if you feel a little bit sick, you know, 2 or 3 days later, then that means that at the same time, you know, you had a certain amount of negative energies within you. If you would like to buy this, the link is in the description below. And by buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Cancerini, you're also supporting my channel as well. The third important date is going to be the 25th of April. Now, the 25th of April is going to be a very good day. A little bit of a test that you are going to have, but you will love this test. You're going to be surprised, but this test is just going to, you're going to be surprised the way you're going to feel about like some kind of like a weird situation that is going to take place. But it's good because this is coming from a different angle, because you're going to have a control over a situation here. Strength, courage, you know, and this is going to be very important when it comes to having relevant energy to deal with a certain overburden feeling and excessive pressures that you were going through in the last 10 months. This is going to bring you the relevant amount of energy, which is going to help you to turn this around and to make it like a determination instead of negativity. And most certainly you're going to make an action on it, and this is going to be so important because it's going to bring you confidence. It's going to make you realize, oh my god, it wasn't that bad, you know, the worst is over, it's brilliant. But at the same time, it's going to start a process which is going to become an important moment in time when it comes to your swift activity, sudden progress and movement. It's almost immediately going to be connected to this, you know, and you're going to be able to make a decision so much quicker, an important decision. And that decision is also going to be so much so to do with your advancement, and the message, an important message is going to take place. Absolutely remarkable and very, very important moment in time. Okay, so now my gorgeous Cancerinis, I'm just going to go on the very first part of the actual April, and I'm going to see how it's going to develop. So now the very first week of April is just all about you kind of realizing things, realizing some kind of time span. It's going to allow you to change something, and it's going to allow you something that you know, to catch up with certain things in your life that you thought that you maybe just came to terms with, or they came to an end. This is going to provide you with a little realization that is going to surprise you, but it's very good and it's very important because it's to do with you, your professional life, your financial situation and things like that. But on another hand, it's going to require from you to be rather daring and adventurous, because it's going to at the same time release you from an enslaved situation. A little devilish person was causing certain negativities and problems, and most certainly you're going to be aware of it. Who is this by now? Because it's going to create a certain burden that you will need to kind of pay attention to and action on. But it's so important in order to do this, in order to complete this particular journey. In fact, the very first week of April is also going to mark the completion of a very annoying and very annoying stage when it comes to the certain burden that you were pushing, but now this daring situation is just going to turn things around for you, and it's most certainly going to help you realize that you are reaching an important stage of your personal development when it comes to this completion, and there are two important options that are going to take place. This is a lot to do with your success, and it's a lot to do with the future planning indeed. On another hand, when it comes to your own possession, it is very good. Whatever you have, whatever you own, if you own like a place, if you own a car, if you own any possession that you have, it will be very good to actually kind of give a little bit of your energy to. So like, for example, just like a energy to, because it's just going to be an important moment in time of expansion when it comes to that as well. Because by doing something that you like, by doing something that you like doing, you're also at the same time setting yourself on the certain pathway, which also brings you an element of a quite pleasant surprise at the same time. When it comes to the actual financial situation, I can see some kind of inheritance here that is going to be quite relevant. And inheritance, you're going to hear about it, but also if you haven't got anybody to leave you any inheritance, my gorgeous Cancerinis, then at the same time you are going to hear about some kind of money that is going to travel towards you that you're going to be aware of most certainly, but that money is also kind of like certain parts belong to other people, so you will hear about your own part, for example. And also when it comes to the certain financial opportunity, something in particular that you were paying attention to, it is not going to work the way you want it to work. And this is going to become quite evident by the time we get to the second part of April. There is a certain financial opportunity or certain direction that you are going towards, and it's not going to turn out the way you want it to turn out. Something will go slightly a different way. But that in itself is also going to make you realize it was a bit of an illusional moment, but that is very important because it's also going to give you the sense of freedom, they give you the sense of release, they give you the sense of testing the water, and also give you the sense of like a new beginnings that you wouldn't normally have, because you're going to have a clear focus about things that you didn't have before almost immediately. And this is the way things work, and especially when they happen at the time when we go to quite a few surprises that are going to end up actually working in our favor instead of like opposite. On another hand, very important moment in time when it comes to gathering a strength, and acceptance. And absolutely, this is going to lead towards an absolutely important moment in time, because it's all about that particular acceptance that you were for some reason stuck in the past. Why were you for some reason stuck in the past, and why you need to move on, why you need to move forward. This is going to be absolutely ridiculously important, and it's coming from the fact that spiritually you are reaching an absolutely mind-blowing moment in time when it comes to you evolving, like spiritually, your spirit will evolve. So therefore, from mid-April onwards, you're just going to have a slightly different vision when it comes to certain things about your life, especially when it comes to things that you were angry about or you felt negative about. And this is what I'm talking about, just looking at the things from a completely different angle. On another hand, you're also going to have a rather wonderful karmic, beautiful surprise, beautiful karmic gift is going to happen here, because within the last 11 months you were kind of nice to someone, you helped to someone, you were beautiful, not because you wanted some kind of outcome, not what you were expecting something, but this is where the beauty and the beautiful, gorgeous essence is, my gorgeous Cancerinis, because you just did it out of your own goodness. So karmic reward you're going to have a mid-April as well. And this is so important because it's going to make you realize how different you are, but in the best possible way. Indeed, this is also going to bring you the balance when it comes to making an important choice. Socially, this is actually going to be really important time, and it's going to actually involve you to make a certain choice which is going to be really important, but that you were worrying about. By the time we get to the last part of April, you're going to realize that you can make this important choice, and you've got more resources than you actually need in order to go for it. It's going to help you to kind of like really release yourself from the time that you were feeling really restrained. And that is also very good, because it's all about the work-life balance and the time that you can actually start rewarding yourself really beautifully. And also, there was a certain, the last part of April is going to kind of make you realize that you're kind of worrying about something in particular when it comes to the personal security, but you're going to be absolutely fine. It is just so important for you to realize not to think really negatively, because at the moment in time when you're worrying about a certain worry and loss, it's not that you're going to go for it, it's not that you're going to go through it, but at the end of April, it's just going to bring you this kind of uneasy feeling, uncertainty, which is going to be showered by uncertainty, and it's naturally going to make you like really worried about your personal safety and security. But my gorgeous Cancerinis, let me just tell you something. The moment in time happens at the end of April when you're worrying about personal security, especially when it comes to finances, worry, and a certain loss. You're also going to release yourself from this particular control, because this can control you, these emotions, these feelings, in such a way where you prevent yourself from moving on forwards, because you're still holding on yourself for the past karma. So it's an unfinished business that is no longer needed whatsoever. It was an unfinished business at some moment in time in the past, so now karmically that came to an end. So most certainly when you get this feeling of like a kind of uncertainty at the end of April, don't worry about it, Cancerinis. You're going to be absolutely fine, because what is going to happen, you are going to actually have a really interesting healing that is going to come through at the same time, and you will know exactly what to do when it comes to your own practicality and security. And therefore this new option, new realization, new door wouldn't open for you and provide you with a whole new perspective. This is all about you having a new perspective, and just basically the moment in time when it comes to your own unfoldment and activation, which is going to become pretty evident here with a gorgeous and rather important moment in time when you have a promise. By the same time, this is going to be the biggest wake-up call in a long time, because the other things that are going to become relevant at the same time, and they're going to confirm things, especially when it comes to uncertainty and the sad times that you maybe had with worries, over the last couple of months. Indeed, there is a lot going to boil to this particular moment in time, but it's going to be so good, because it's all about your own actual great moment in time when it comes to joy, when it comes to family. It's important, because something very important, it's quite significant, is going to take place when it comes to your own family, at the end of April, when it comes to people that mean to you so much. I think you must be worrying about someone in particular when it comes to your family members, and that problem is going to come to an end. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. So that is going to bring you joy, and it means so much. But on another hand, it's going to be so important for you to realize that the end of April is going to be super required from you to act in a certain way when it comes to some kind of a problem. Some kind of problem is going to be within your family, or within like the group of people that are so important to you, so significant to you, so relevant to you, but it's going to be within you to actually put your foot down in such a way to make a necessary adjustment. You're going to be the one who's going to be holding the answer for the certain problem, because you will know exactly what to do, my gorgeous Cancerinis, and that is actually going to take place at the end of April. Very, 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 very important to put your input, okay? Very important. And also, you're going to be wondering about a certain opportunity when it comes to the actual end of April, my gorgeous Cancerinis, and that is so important to say that certain opportunity you're going to be wondering about, you're going to be kind of uncertain whether you should go for it or not, because it's going to require relevant changes when it comes to your life, and most certainly somebody very important in your life is going to confirm to you at the right moment in time, like a spiritual leader, like a guru, or someone very important in your life. It's going to confirm this to you, to just go for it, go for it, go for it. You are going to have a very interesting opportunity at the end of the month, but it's not going to seem that big. It's going to be big later on, and the actual November 2020 is going to have a direct connection with actual that particular opportunity that you are going to have at the end of April. Absolutely remarkable moment in time indeed. Okay, so now I'm just going to shuffle these cards, and I'm going to see what is going to happen to you, my gorgeous Cancerinis, who are actually in relationship. Now, this is a remarkable, there you go, 8 of coins. This is a remarkable moment in time, my gorgeous Cancerinis, because it's all about just stay committed to the task at hand. This is a great time of accomplishment, and it's going to surprise you, both of you, because this is going to be quite beneficial months for you both. When it comes to, you just need to remember that you're going to be under a little pressure, both of you. Just remember, keep going, keep going, keep going, and stay committed to the task at hand. You're reaching a very important stage when it comes to both of you. So the end of the month and the beginning of May are also going to be absolutely remarkable and mind-blowing when it comes to you reaching a very powerful stage of your own realization that is going to change everything, because it's going to shed a light on the negativity and darkness that was holding you back throughout the last couple of months in So this is most certainly going to be the step in the right direction, Cancerinis, indeed. Okay, so now I'm just going to shuffle. I'm just going to shuffle these cards, and I'm going to connect to those of you Cancerinis who are single and ready to mingle. This is absolutely, there you go. Look at this, look at this, look at this. This is absolutely important to say. This is a significant moment in time because you are actually going to do really well. You're going to have a remarkable opportunity, and this opportunity is going to be so strong, and it's going to be so powerful, and it's to do with you, it's to do with the next stage, it's to do with the finances, it's to do with the security, it's to do with the power. It's going to happen at the moment in time when you there will be a moment in time when you're going to get a good news, and it's so much so going to surprise you on one hand, but this is all about your own personal advancement. There is also an important idea of your ability that you're going to actually recognize, something that is just going to really require your attention. Why am I telling you this? Because that idea is going to be directly responsible for this incredible person who is about to walk into your life. My gorgeous Cancerinis, there is someone very special who is about to walk into your life, but the way the things are going to happen, it's going to be slightly more complex, because you are most certainly going to have a good news, which is just going to put a big smiley on your face indeed. But it's wonderful, it's remarkable, because that good news that you are going to have, it's also going to become like an important integral part of your life when it comes to the idea. Whether you realize this straight away that this is going to take off or not, it doesn't matter. But the person who is about to walk into your life is just going to be connected to that particular idea. It's very deep, it's very complex, but it's a very powerful moment in time, because this person is going to be very significant, and this person is about to walk into your life. It is not going to happen in April, but it's just going to happen right after April, or it's just going to happen right, at the beginning, like of May, or like May is going to be quite relevant and significant. But why am I saying this to you in April? Because the idea that you're going to have, it's going to require from you to make a necessary changes that you're going to make, of course, and it's going to require from you to make a certain, like a kind of adjustments when it comes to you, and that is going to bring you an option, and that option is directly going to make you to become a part of this particular dimension where this person is going to be. I know it's really deep, I know it's really complex, but most certainly this is going to redirect you towards someone very, very special, my gorgeous Cancerinis. All you need to do is just go with the flow, have your eyes open, and be as open-minded as you can, be as daring as you can, be as adventurous as you can. This is going to be month for it. I told you that this month is going to turn out to be different to what you thought. So just watch this space, my gorgeous Cancerinis. Cancerini, watch this space. It's going to be very, very interesting indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Cancerinis, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing and light to every single one of you. Mwah. Okay, I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing and light, my gorgeous Cancerinis. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough about the living, make a better place for you and for me, you and for me, you and for me, you and for me, you and for me. Love you, Cancerini. Bye.